Hey everybody, welcome back. Time for another edition of the Cabin Edition. Coming to you, you can see through the window from snowy, wintry Southwest Virginia. Um, Glad to be working inside at the moment. So let me turn you around and show you what I've got going on. All right, so most notably you can see I've actually started installing tongue and groove planks on the wall. Um, just started that yesterday. Yesterday was kind of an eventful day, so I'm going to turn you over this way. Actually took delivery of my sliding glass doors, so that's on the docket, although it won't be until I get some help here with me. At the moment I'm by myself, so I'm not going to be trying to install those individually. Be pretty much a wreck if I tried to do that. Speaking of a wreck, see the corner of my jumbled tools over here. Now, I'm not sure if anybody else does work like this, but this seems to be kind of the way I have to operate. At least here, because this is a fairly small space, and I'm constantly juggling, moving things from here to there just to make space for what the next thing is I have to do. So specifically, I'll also show you down here. I have my subfloor partially installed. On a previous video, I had mentioned that I left intentionally the 2x4 elevation outside from the deck. So what you're seeing now is the result of building up. I've got one panel. This is 1 inch of the green, what's it called? Kingspan green guard. And so that's under this 7/16 OSB. And I've got that all screwed down. I've got 3 of them done. I've got 2 more. My OSB is still sitting over here. But I really can't do those last couple until I get my doors installed, because right now I'm using that green board to block the wind from the outside. So anyway, so that's what I had to do yesterday. I had my OSB kind of sitting down temporarily on the ground over there, but as I started doing the tongue and groove paneling, I realized I got to get that OSB out of there before I kind of get that tongue and groove over there, and then wouldn't be able to slide it out. So, so, anyways, a lot of scrambling of materials and trying to get things kind of out of the way again. So I moved that stuff about 2 times at least, just trying to get my OSB out of there. So let's see. Let me kind of take you back here. A couple things I've learned. First off, even though you think you thought through everything when you're doing these DIY type jobs, odds are you've overlooked something. I'm not sure if I can see it. I guess I can. One thing I discovered when I first started putting my first course of the tongue and groove board on there was that somehow I screwed up and didn't get a nailer in this corner. So I had to go back in yesterday and add a couple of scrap 2x4s up through here, so I had something to nail to. So that's one thing that I discovered. The other thing was, and I'm not sure why this didn't hit me before, I started looking at this outlet. I've got this outlet installed on this outside 2x4 here, or not the outlet, but the switch box. But you can see, pretty obvious, it's going to be in the way of my tongue and groove wallboard. It's all the way up to the edge. So I need to get in here. I need to loosen this up and actually put a spacer in here on the side of this switch box so I can move it out from the wall. I think I've got enough space here. I'll have enough space to move it, but it's just going to be a pain because, of course, all the wiring is done. So I'll have to just get in there, be careful, and make sure I've got enough room to slacken the wire, which I should have, to be able to move this out a little bit. But anyways, that's kind of a pain. I thought I was done with electrical for the most part. As I was pausing to get my thoughts together, I looked outside, and if you can see him up here, deer cruising through the snow. Can you see him? Right up there. And there's another. Let's see. Can't see him at the moment. There he is, coming up through here. they don't seem too terribly bothered by the snow. Anyway, so it's nice to see wildlife while we're here. Okay, back to our construction project. So another thing I'm struggling with a little bit, or had to struggle with, right now I'm kind of past it, but at the very beginning, as you might guess, when you're doing this tongue and groove, it's really important to get that first row established correctly so that everything else will just, you know, go smoothly once you've got it ready in position where you want it. But one thing that in particular, another kind of, I guess, a thing I wouldn't say I overlooked it, but knew at some point that the deck on which we built this was not perfectly level. So because it wasn't level, I couldn't. This makes sense. If I just put a level on my, I built everything square. My walls are square relative to everything else except for the earth. If that makes sense. So I can't, if you put the level on everything, if I just put my boards down there and made them level to the earth, to gravity, they'd be out a little bit with respect to, like, visually with the windows and the top of the framing. So a level line wasn't going to do me very good, because I would have had kind of, let's see if I remember right, the slope kind of goes up as you come this way, and you can almost see what I've got going on here with the boards. So anyways, what I did, instead of using a level line to get the top of my board established, I basically took a series of measurements between some known references. So between the finished height of the floor and the bottom of the windows, or the windowsill, I used that measurement. I also did some measurements up and down from the top plate of my framing, and so those are things that are consistent height-wise, again, relative to each other as I move down the wall. So oops, I'm kind of backed myself in a corner. I can't get back any further. So anyway, so I wanted to make everything visually. What do I want to say? It's going to look together. Yeah, visually it will look like everything is level, right? And there's not, when I say it's out of level, it's not noticeably, like as you're walking around, it's not a noticeable difference, but it's enough that it would have caused, as I mentioned, the planks to be a little bit not level with respect to, or relative to, the windows. Hope that makes sense. So anyway, so that took me a long time to get my first row established. You can see I still have some blocking down there that I was using to try to finagle things around. Again, down there there's a pretty big gap there, but the reason for that, as I mentioned, is once I get this green span or green guard boards off the doorways, I'll be able to put those down there, so there's space for that, as well as the OSB underneath there that I can slide in there. So I had to leave a gap big enough for that. Okay, so that's one thing. Another thing I ran into a little bit with this tongue and groove, this is the first time I've used this, so it does look pretty easy, and it's not that bad. Again, like I said, establishing that first row is probably the hardest part. One thing, to get a little closer, you can see I've got a clamp up here. I've got it into the spreader bar kind of orientation. Was this particular board, even though I felt everything was cut square, as a matter of fact, this over here, the seam, it looks pretty good right now, but it was a larger gap at the bottom. It's still a tiny bit larger than the top. But I noticed that this board, even though it looked pretty straight, the bottom and the middle part of it was not wanting to slide all the way down into between the tongue and the groove. I couldn't get it to set correctly. It was just sticking up a little bit. So anyway, so I took see what I did. Took a scrap 2x4 and just screwed it into the framing above there, and then used the spreader to just push it down. And when I did that, that helped to close the gap down here to make it more uniform gap on top, from top to bottom. Thing that another observation, and just something for people to be aware of, and I knew this, I guess, when I installed them. I thought I would just go back and fix it, which I will. This tongue and groove is 3/4 of an inch thick, as opposed to drywall. Typical drywall that you put on is going to be a 1/2 inch thick, and so these the outlet boxes are really meant, they're designed to be installed on the framing for assuming a 1/2 inch wall finishing. So right now these outlets are going to be sunk in a little bit too much for me to use the standard cover plate. Well, I'm still going to use the covered plate, but I've got to get some spacers to put behind the screws to be able to, or at least, there's a couple different options. I have to go to Lowe's and look to see what they've got, but I'll have to pull these outlets out a little bit from their current position in the box so I can get the cover plate back on there. So again, just something to be aware of if you're if you have an option to put a box. If you know what your wall finishing is going to be, you might want to account for that before you stick the nail into the side of the into the framing, as opposed to what I'm doing. All right, one more thing that I'll point out. So this used to be all open up here. Well, it still officially is open. It's not well, it's framed, but I don't have anything finished up there, obviously, with the black. These are actually trash bags that I just stuck up there, stapled, to cover the attic opening, because I knew this was going to be a cold weekend while I'm here. And you can see, you've probably seen it, I've got a space heater in here right now trying to warm things up a little bit. But when this was all exposed to the attic, it was, now I'm trying to heat up the entire attic of the cabin as well as this room. So anyway, so I put all this up here temporarily so I can just keep the air kind of inside this addition, and hopefully make it more comfortable while I'm working. Well, speaking of working, I think I will go ahead and start working some more on these wall boards, and I'll show you what kind of progress I've made later in the day. Stay tuned. Okay, fast forward a few hours, and look what I've accomplished. I actually finished this entire wall, other than the window trim, but have all the boards in place. I'm debating, it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I still have, I've got some leftover, a few boards left. I haven't bought everything for the ceiling yet, and I really didn't figure on how much square footage I was going to need for the sidewalls, but I do have a couple of those longer boards that I showed you, and then I've got several cutoffs over here. So the rest of the evening, I think I'm going to spend time cutting up some of those and putting them up these little extensions on the side, on these sidewalls. So I might get a couple of these small pieces knocked out. I'm not sure. I might have enough to do some of this up here at the top, but I'm not really sure. So anyways, I think it went pretty well. One thing, I guess, word of advice, if you're doing this, the biggest challenge to me was making sure that, as I mentioned earlier, having that first course, really carefully planned out and laid out height-wise from the ceiling. And then the other thing is, working around the windows here is just, I tried to keep track of the height where I was as I was stacking these things up, from the top of the wall down to the top of the individual planks over here, as well as, everywhere where I was going to have to match things up again. I was just paying extra careful attention. There were a couple of spaces that I tweaked just a little bit. Like over here, there were a couple boards that I was starting to get a little bit off height-wise compared to some other spots. So literally just put like a putty knife between the ends of the boards there before I really nailed them flush or tightly, and just kind of pried it up just ever so slightly, like not, maybe a 1/16 of an inch, maybe. So I don't think anybody will ever know, except for now that I've told everybody about it. Anyhow, that's about all I had to do. Everything else turned out pretty well. Struggled a little bit with, I think, the boards aren't always perfectly flat. So you have to struggle sometimes with getting things worked in. So it's actually laying in the groove is laying on over the tongue everywhere. So there's a little bit of finagling you've got to do, but I used the spreader as I showed earlier and the clamps just to kind of help squeeze things together. Occasionally give me an extra hand. If you have two people, it would go a little easier, but it really wasn't all that bad. Okay, so I guess that wraps it up for today. Next time around, hopefully I'll be able to show you the completed sidewalls, and maybe I'll get the some of the boxes I mentioned. I think putting what do you call them? Cubbies up on the top, the side where I framed all the way up to the roof line on the wall, the existing cabin wall. So maybe we'll have some of that done before I post another video, but we'll just kind of wait and see. I've got some extra time off around the holiday, so this is about 2 weeks before Christmas right now. I've got time off before Christmas and then all the way till January 5th. So hope to get some more stuff done, and if I do, I'll make sure to record some videos and post them here on the channel. So until then, have a nice holiday, and I hope everybody checks back in with me. Feel free to subscribe, add to my 200 plus subscriber total. I have to laugh at that every time. Slowly but surely, we're increasing the subscribership. But anyways, I appreciate you stopping by. We'll talk to you soon.